Marvel DC, the die is cast. Every plot twist we dissect. No stone unturned, what did you expect? For the homies, let's rewind. Dive into the worlds we find. Streaming live with all the glow. Comics, movies, shows, let's go.
Hello, everybody. It's Thursday night. You know what that means. It's another exciting episode for the Homies Podcast. And once again, we are here to have fun. We're going to talk a little smack, talk about a little entertainment, make fun of people, our usual stick. How you doing, Crease? My brother, how you doing, my friend?
Man, dealing with life every single day. But you know what? I'm glad to be here with you guys. We're gonna have fun tonight. And let's get it started. Jake, how you feeling today, my man?
I'm doing all right. I was a little late to the green room because I was handling some real life stuff, which happens to all of us. Of course. Yesterday I had a medical procedure. And I think that it's working some. It seems like it is, and I hope that it is. So I got to pay attention to it for the next few days. Actually, I have my ice pack right here because I do in the middle of this have to ice my back down some, but I'm just going to slip back and grab and put it in my back and I'll be fine. But otherwise, yeah, I'm glad to be here. Big Dog Jake, BIGGDOGGJAK. You can follow me on a whole bunch of places. Let's fucking light this candle. Let's go.
So they finally got that gerbil out of your ass that's been stuck there?
No, actually, no. I still have to go really bad. I think I'm going to do it before I go to bed to make sure I sleep better.
All right, so we're doing a little something different, guys. So let's talk to the chat. Let's see how is the chat doing tonight.
First off, I mean, Wayfarer just shot out the 199 immediately. Hail the 199. Hail the GCA.
What's going on, peoples?
Weirun's here. Weirun has been always here. He's been every single time, and I love seeing that.
A1 homie.
Grown up horns as well. He is an A1 homie. He's absolutely an A1 homie.
What's going on, man? Good to see you.
Everybody.
What's going on, man?
Glad you're also here. We have Booming Bob saying, likes this stream, nerds. Yes, we would like the stream.
Our number one Kamala supporter.
Supporter. We have Nabistro saying, like your descent.
It's good to see you.
I hope we will.
Good to see you, man.
I hope you do. And Isaac is here. Shamefully, he's mod, but you know what?
Isaac.
And he's saying hello to everybody. He also just said he just got done watching 10 LA police lose 18 people in a motorcycle chase.
I watched that live right before we went to green room. I'm like,
yeah.
God, this is the reason
LA
why
is
women
crazy,
should
man.
be cops. These are women cops chasing them too.
Well, look, man, I doubt Chips, like California Highway Patrol, is setting down 50 motorcycles into just the burning hell that is LA currently. But man, are those people there's so many people smashing and grabbing into people's half-burned houses, stealing TVs and shit. It's wild. LA is pandemonium right now.
It's Sodom and Gomorrah over there, man. It's a crazy Sodom and Gomorrah going on right now.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. But as Wayfarer says, America, that's what matters.
America, yeah. And don't forget Monday, the GOAT gets up there.
That's right. 45-47.
He raises that hand. It will be live on my FamX channel. You just keep an eye out on X. I'll be posting updates between here and there. It's gonna be the homies watching the man, the myth, the legend become president one more time. And so I guess it's time to go into our first little thing. It's time for the internet news.
So what's first on the docket for internet news?
So, do you guys want to talk about David, or do you want to go into Carrie Underwood? Either way, it's like, it's all breaking news or whatever. What you guys want to do?
I guess we can do the Carrie Underwood first.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll carry Underwood thing first.
Yeah, do Carrie Underwood first. So,
Yep.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Chris.
Okay, so Carrie, I am just been aware of this story.
same.
Phantom told me about it yesterday, so I'm definitely gonna let Phantom cook on it first. But it seems like Carrie Underwood is going to sue The View. Oh,
I
wonder why.
Sue The View. My goodness.
Okay, well,
It's about time.
Phantom, I'm gonna let you cook, man. Go ahead.
Okay,
The alley is yours.
So Carrie Underwood announced that she's going to be singing "America the Beautiful" at Trump's inauguration.
As you can see by this chart.
Yes, and so the ladies of The View ripped her apart and saying that she said, we know Carrie Underwood, she's a country music singer, she loves her country. She doesn't really talk about her politics. You don't know if she's right or left. She's never put that out there.
Nope.
And
Good.
she's like, so she says that, she's a patriot. She loves her country, but yet Joy Behar on the View ripped apart says, well, if you're performing there, you're not a patriot. You literally are going there to sing for a convicted felon,
Yes.
a guy that did inappropriate things with women, which that's what he was not charged with. He wasn't convicted of that. Ain't that right, George Stephanopoulos? Didn't you have to pay like $1 million fucking dollars?
Yeah, it was like
about Trump.
It was like was it 15 million? $15 million.
Yeah, it was 15 million.
He and ABC had to pay
an apology
and an open apology. Yes, he had to openly apologize on his show. Which, oof, man.
Well, at least I give it this much. At least Carrie Underwood's got the fucking. She's a woman. She's got the fucking balls to say "fuck all you." I was asked to go and sing for the inauguration day because you gotta remember, Trump wanted Garth Brooks to do it when he first was his inauguration, and Garth Brooks pretty much told Trump to go fuck himself.
He did. He did. Yeah. Well, at that point, and this is a lot of America post 9/11 lore. Like in 2015, 2016, country music had kind of like swayed pretty far from like the Toby Keith of like 03, 04, 05, that kind of area. Warning from China, Idaho Mike. Good to see you.
What's going on, Mr. Idaho Mike?
So if we swap over to this tab, we can see how the people from The View have things to say. And the one thing I was surprised by was Whoopi Goldberg was actually like, you know what? Go for it, girl. I wouldn't do it, but I support you. And just go for it. I'm
She's
like, okay,
based.
that's interesting. I mean,
yeah.
In this at least, she was pretty based. But then of course Behar just laid.
She can't handle it.
Yeah, she's like, I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't do it, even though I can't sing. I would not normalize him. I love our country. How do you love our country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted felon? First off, weird way to put that. And really wants to destroy the country, in my opinion. I don't understand how you say you love your country. At the same time, you normalize a convicted felon, which I can say now every day. You can say that now every day. There is some free speech there. However, who cares? Who the fuck cares? Who cares?
What I notice about The View now is like these four ladies have been bickering and arguing over the same stuff to where like, Joy Behar is actually the crazy one. Whoopi Goldberg is the actual like base one. The one. No.
Whoopi is not the base one. She is just as crazy as fucking Joy.
Well, I was about to say what. I'm not finished
my
yet.
bad. My bad. My bad. My bad.
Yeah. I know the brown headed chick, like she's the young, like
Funny.
open minded, like let's listen to what it like everybody got to say or whatever. And then Sunny,
Sunny Hall-
Sunny
yeah.
is
Austin.
Sunny is in trouble in her personal life. Her husband is in trouble,
Oh,
so
dude.
like she can't say too much.
She
Dude.
Yeah,
threw him under the
can't say much.
bus. She
Yeah.
threw him under the bus. It's so
Yeah, she
fucking
really did.
hilarious.
Well, and
Yeah.
Wayfair, I want to bring up a point here. Wayfair says, "Who watches The View anyway?" Mainly,
That's what it
It's backed by Disney.
First off, it's backed by Disney because it's on ABC. Second off, the people who watch The View are, it's like 28 to 55-year-old, mainly women,
Mhm.
and coming up next season, I guess you could say, so in like the next few weeks, they're going to start doing The View 7 days a week. It's not going to be just them Monday through Friday. They're also going to have a Saturday and Sunday show. And specifically, Whoopi Goldberg was like, I'm out. Peace. Like, she'll do Monday through Friday, but she will not be there for the Saturday and Sunday recordings. So it's just going to bring in somebody else, I guess. So it's not just 3 people. They're going to bring in somebody else because Whoopi's not going to be there to do a Saturday and a Sunday. So apparently, enough people watch it that they're going to start doing 2 more days. I don't know why. I don't think this will help heal the country, if you know what I'm saying. But anyways.
I think some of them are all coming up on their contract renewals too. So I think, in my opinion, I think Sunny's not going to be back because what's going on with her husband or whatever. So she's probably going to have to step down. And also, they keep on giving her legal notes.
Whoopi
Goldberg
running her mouth.
Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg and Joe Behar, they probably will stay or whatever because of veteranship or whatever. But the brunette chick, it looks like she's bringing in more new people because like bringing in more of the conservative women base because they actually want to hear what she got to say or whatever. And now, I don't know if this is true, but like I know I saw a video or read an article like Disney's throwing Candace Owens a lot of money to get her on the crew.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's true or not.
Yeah.
You know she won't. But also, so the brown headed chick, the one that was there, she okay. So pull it up to where you see her.
These 4 right here.
Okay, so the one below Whoopi.
Yeah.
She made a claim if Trump could get the hostages out of Gaza, she will wear a Help Make America Great Again hat on the next show when they do. So basically, you know, this has come out that they're trying to get the hostages, so she's going to have to wear a hat.
The hostage deal has been hammered out. It has been hammered out. It's not perfect. I was reading about it the other day. It's not a perfect deal because Hamas doesn't like it, which I don't care. But the U.S. and like the West, they're not fans of it either because it's going to be done in 2 stages over 43 days. They're going to do one mass release of people. Then 43 days later, they're going to release the rest. And
that's crazy.
Instead of all at once. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, these 4 ladies right here. Whoopi is whatever. You know, she's not going to do the Saturday and Sunday. Joy Behar just says tons of stuff.
I'm not even mad at Whoopi. Like,
I'm not mad at her either for not wanting to do the extra 2 shows. First off, but
it's like that's too much work. Like, I don't want to see y'all every single day, especially like on Saturday and Sundays.
Or have to work like double days, Tuesdays and Thursdays to record a second show. No way.
Well, it'd be like the old wrestlers back in the day. They had to work twice on Sunday.
Twice on Sunday, flying 300 days a week, twice on Sunday. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, going back to Carrie Underwood, I'm not mad at her for, like, putting these women in check. Like, hey, man, like, at least with Carrie Underwood, she's doing the right thing, not what Drake is doing. Like, that's a whole nother thing, Jake, that me and you got to talk about on a video one day, man. Like, we got to talk about that. Or
we will one of these days.
Yeah. It's like, but yeah. I don't have nothing else on this one.
I just think it was kind of. I think it's just kind of interesting that literally they're going after her because she's going to sing "America the
Mhm.
Beautiful," but at Trump's thing, they're attacking
Right.
her for it. That's kind of pathetic. I thought the left are supposed to like prop up women and have women's backs, but yet there are four women trashing another woman.
Yeah, yeah, and
They don't believe that.
No, they don't actually believe that. And two things real quick before we can move on from The View is one is the whole point of The View when it was initially set up as a show was I cannot think of the woman's name, but she was an interviewer for ABC and for like 60 minutes.
That was
Barbara Walters.
Barbara Walters.
Barbara
The whole
Walters.
point, when Barbara Walters was setting up this show, the whole point was to have like a woman's point of view because Barbara Walters was a fantastic journalist for decades.
Mhm.
She interviewed fucking everybody. She interviewed Saddam Hussein. She interviewed Osama bin Laden. She was interviewing like dictators and
Castro.
tyrants. She interviewed Castro. Like she
She
interviewed everybody for decades.
She wanted to bang Farrakhan, but that's a whole nother thing.
She wanted to bang Louis Farrakhan, which we're not gonna get into that.
And remember her
And-
famous interview with fucking Sean Connery about smacking women.
Sean Connery said, sometimes you have to slap a bitch. That's it. Family Guy. But again, the point was to have this spectrum of views from like kind of like conservative right to liberal left, and they would all come. You'd have someone on the far right, someone on the far left, someone in the middle of each, and then people in the center. The whole point was to have different points of view, and it was kind of doing that into like 2014, 2015. In early 2015, they had Trump on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Trump came out, Whoopi gave him a hug, Joy gave him a hug. They were talking about, are you going to run? Oh my goodness, because they had been friends for years, of course. He'd been a Democrat donor for years. But they hated him. And the second thing, very simply, is all Carrie Underwood said. This was all she said publicly. She made a statement to Entertainment Weekly, and all she said was, I love our country and am honored to have been asked to sing at the inauguration and to be a small part of this historic event. I am humbled to answer the call at a time when we must all come together in the spirit of unity and looking to the future. That's her entire statement.
I'm glad that you said that, Jake, because like you want to know what's the funny part? I don't know if you guys heard about this news. Like there was a HBCU college that was that Trump, the Trump team asked them to perform at the inauguration or whatever. Like
they have like 40 schools that perform at inaugurations. Like the high school that I went to, our band performed at Bush's second and both of Obama's before I graduated.
Yeah. Yeah. But the thing was like they were yelling at this, like all the other HBCUs were like teaming on this one. I can't name it the college on the top of my head, but like
it might have been like Howard or something. It might have been like the.
I think it was like or Howard or whatever. I mean, the point of the matter is like I think their band leaders said like, hey, we might not agree with him politically. A lot of us might not, and there's probably some of my students that do probably agree with them. The point of the matter is this is a once in a lifetime chance. I don't care who the president is. We're performing this is what puts our school on the map and gives us more money or whatever. Mm-hmm. So,
absolutely.
I ain't mad at that. Whatever.
I ain't mad at that either.
So,
not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So it's more pathetic than anything. They just cannot wrap their heads around it. They lost.
Yeah.
They did.
And it's just proven a point that all of us have said for these last 4 years. Our country is sick and tired of being sick and tired, and the people voted. We want Trump. And all I have to say to the leftists who are still like losing their shit, cry me a fucking river, suck it up, Buttercup.
I haven't heard that one in a while.
Anyways,
man.
On to slightly more somber news. David Lynch, famous author and director, has passed away, 78 years old. Phantom, I know you have a lot of things that you wish to say. If you want to lead us in, by all means.
Okay, so this man, definitely part of my childhood,
Hmm.
directed some of the greatest movies of all time, and probably one of the greatest TV shows of all time.
Mhm.
He directed Twin Peaks. I remember that was a phenomenon when that was out, that mini
Oh yeah.
series. He directed one of my favorite movies, the original Dune, 1984. He did Blue Velvet. He did he did so many movies, and he will be missed. And a little thing that after our show tonight in the GCA Discord, Isaac is going to be having a special viewing of Dune 1984.
Mhm.
And so after the show, probably heading over there and go watch that epic movie. He has to be like one of my favorite directors. He took Dune, a movie that they said could never be filmed. It could never.
Right.
It would never.
Unfilmable.
And he did change some stuff up from the novels to the movie. And I haven't really seen the most recent ones. I've seen
Right.
that one. I've seen Children of Dune and
Mhm.
the Dune on Sci-Fi.
Mhm.
And I have to say, man, I love that movie. I mean, it's
Yeah.
probably one of my favorite of his, movies next to Twin Peaks. And
It's
he
got
did,
Sting in it. It's got Sting from
yes, yes,
from the
yeah,
police.
yeah, and it's also it actually had a lot of good actors in it,
Yeah.
and it was
Oh
a
yeah.
it was a and I believe that didn't he direct the Catching Fire, the Twin Peaks movie, decades
Yes.
later.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. He directed the show, and then like
Mhm.
the movie, which was like
20 years.
well, it's 25 years because
Yeah.
20 or 25 years because the
Mhm.
very last line in
Mhm.
Twin Peaks, Kyle MacLachlan says, see you in 25 years, whichever.
Mhm.
And 25 years later, boom, Catching Fire comes out.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. And I remember the very first time I'm pretty sure this is correct. The very first time I ever heard the name David Lynch was I was pretty young. I was probably 7, 8, 9, maybe. And I was talking to my dad to see what he did in college. And it just so happened that my dad's probably sophomore year, so he would have been like 20 years old in college. Eraserhead just came out that year. So David Lynch's very first project, which he directed and starred in, a black and white movie with his crazy tall hair and the crazy practical
Classic.
stuff. And my dad went through a lot of work and through scholarship, went to like a very nice liberal arts college up in like the woods in Pennsylvania. And they got a reel of Eraserhead and they watched it in his AV class. And that was my dad's first, that was most everybody's first experience of David Lynch. And I remember my dad telling me about that, how crazy that movie was. And haven't seen everything David Lynch has done, but I've seen a lot of what he's done. I've followed him through the years. I love his little interviews that he gives. I love my favorite line of his is when people are, he's having an interview and somebody's asking about how they want people, how would he like others to watch his movie? And, he's saying, I want everybody to go to the theater and watch my movie instead of watching it on their fucking phones. Just get off your ass and go to the theaters. Stop watching on your fucking phone. If I wanted you to watch it on your fucking phone, I would have filmed it on my fucking phone. Like, oh my God. I just love that shit.
At least it's straightforward, straight to the point.
Absolutely. You suffer no fools. And he's just like, yeah, I want you to watch the movie in theaters. I filmed it on this massive ass camera for you. Do it there.
And there's another thing with him. So there's two versions of his Dune movie. There is the regular cut, and there's like a 4-hour extended cut.
Mm-hmm.
That he literally, the movie studios literally butchered his original version of Dune. They butchered
They
it.
cut it down a lot. They cut it down like 100 or an
Mhm.
hour and like
Mhm.
40 minutes, maybe, which is,
Mhm.
first off, isn't a lot when you're translating a novel.
Mhm.
And even when a movie that's like 2.5 hours long isn't enough to touch the novel, like to cut it down even more.
They actually cut off a lot of like the world building in the very like first 30 minutes of the movie
Mhm.
because they literally break the lore down
Which is
in the
kind
first.
of important.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you've ever read the Dune books, or heck, if you've even seen Denis Villeneuve do the Dune duology thus far, because the third movie will come out soon, there's a lot of stuff that's happening there. And even so, if you are going in fresh to Herbert's Dune, it's still not enough to understand what's going on. Because there's so much. I mean, literally the history, like from the starting point of Dune, like the history starts like 30,000 years before that. And there's still a universe that's like millions of years before that. So there's so much stuff. Like
So
from the moment Paul Atreides is like on
Mhm.
Dune, there's like 30,000 years of shit you kind of need to know, and that's explained in the first bit of the first book. It's wild.
I do want to recommend go watch Dune Prophecy.
Yeah, the
Isaac,
show that just came out.
yeah, we watched it in Discord,
Mhm.
and it was phenomenal. It
That's
was
what you told me. I
It,
gotta
yeah, it
check
was
it out.
really good. It was really good. I'm gonna tell you it. So it starts probably a few years after the robot wars that are talked in Doom. They were fighting the robots and stuff, and
Mhm.
it's like the rise of the Bene Gesserit up until
Mm-hmm. So it's a prequel show, kind of.
yeah. What's up, Norman Conquest? Hey, happy late belated birthday, my friend.
So happy belated birthday, Norman. It is so good. to
Happy
see.
B-Day, man.
Oh,
Um,
and thank you so much. It feels right seeing me back on the panel. Thank you. Thank you, Norman. I'm so glad to be here. And it feels right being back. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
I highly recommend the Dude Prophecy. A
Mhm.
a lot of people, it actually helps. It actually helps build the lore because
Yeah.
there's no woke in it. It's not
No.
bad. There are
No.
compelling characters in there. Like there's one. His name's Desmond Hart. He's probably like one of the most interesting characters
Mm-hmm.
in the show. Isaac. I praised Isaac for playing that. We watched it every Sunday, and I was like, I was hyped for the next episode. I mean, at the same time, you know, Skeleton Crew came out. We watched 2 episodes and we never went back to it.
Yeah. And Skeleton Crew was apparently bad.
It's not bad per se. It's just like no one just didn't care enough to watch it. Like,
Right.
know,
Okay.
they said
Wasn't-
it's better written than the Acolyte, but like no one didn't care to watch it. It's basically
Well,
an Andor situation.
Okay.
'Cause
But I
Star
thought
Wars
people
is
really
dead.
liked Andor. I thought people really liked Andor, though.
I never
Yeah, but
watched
nobody
it, so
watched
I
it.
wouldn't know.
But nobody watched. Okay, fair enough. That happens a lot. There's something
Yeah.
really good that comes out, but there's so much bad faith leading up to it that everybody just skips over it.
Yeah.
I understand. So,
Um.
have any final statements on Mr. excuse me.
The GOAT.
Please excuse me. On
I'd
David
say
Lynch.
He's the GOAT. He is
I
the GOAT.
have nothing. I think for our rounding up internet news, we definitely could talk about the Ambassador Council that Trump
Yes.
did for Hollywood. I'm gonna let Phantom cook on that one too because he found the article like literally 2 days. So I'm gonna let him talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So Donald Trump has shooken up Hollywood once again
Yes.
by announcing that he's got 3 ambassadors that is going to literally make Hollywood great again. And who are they, Jake?
Well, as you can see by this Variety post, you can see that they are. Oh, excuse me. I just clicked on the wrong button. As you can see, they are. We have from right to left. We have John Voight, Mel Gibson, and Sly Stallone. And specifically, his words were making Hollywood, quote, stronger than ever before. chose them as, quote, special ambassadors. I assume that would mean special ambassadors of the White House to Hollywood, or from Hollywood to the White House. And if you are someone like Donald Trump, who understands the importance of the export of culture that the United States has to the rest of the world, and you want to get back to when the U.S. was absolutely crushing the pop culture space, you know, when these guys were, I know they're kind of aged a little differently, and their eras were slightly different from each other. But Sly Stallone, Mel Gibson, and John Voight were in some fucking great movies for the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Like this is I feel personally that this could be quite a good idea.
Yeah.
So I saw this and I'm like, oh my wow, this is awesome. This is freaking awesome. And in the comments, they're leftist, they, thems, by pronouns and bios are literally attacking these guys. And there are people in there. Well, yeah, he got racist to go into Hollywood talking about Mel Gibson, which, you know, he's not ashamed. He said what he said. He admitted he said what he said.
Very importantly,
he doesn't run from
Mel
it.
Gibson, I just want to cover this real quick before we move on. This, first off, it was many years ago. It's like over 15 years ago. And he's apologized for it. Secondly, as Robert Downey Jr. said in like 2010, because remember, Robert Downey Jr.'s career was dead in 1999, 2000. It was done. It was over.
Yeah.
And when he was picked to be a part of Iron Man, to be Tony Stark, nobody was for it. Nobody was for it. Except the director, who was like, this is the guy. He is Tony Stark. He'll do it. And when he got back and he got famous and made him billions of dollars in like 2009, 2010, when they were at the American Film Awards, Tony Stark, excuse me. Why am I blanking on his name? I just said it. Anyways, he gets up on stage. Robert Downey Jr. gets up on stage and gives a little bit of a speech. And then, because he was like teeing up Mel Gibson to come out and give a little bit of speech, and people like started booing because he mentioned Mel Gibson, and Robert Downey Jr. literally like tells everybody to shut the fuck up, just calm down, and he gets Mel Gibson to come out. He walks Mel Gibson back up to him and gets in front of the mic and he puts his arm around him and says, "Hey, you guys accepted me back. I asked for forgiveness. You guys accepted me back. If you can do it for me, you can do it for him. He's apologized. He's moved past it." And then he hugs him. He says, "I love you, brother." And then he steps away, and then Mel Gibson's able to give a speech. Like, that's where we're at now. We have to call balls and strikes. And if somebody wipes the slate clean, we have to accept it. We have to. Look, if they fuck up again, they fuck up again, and then we can toss them. But until that point, we have to let it be.
Yeah. I mean,
he's been straight the whole time. He beat his drinking addiction.
Yeah.
He's beaten like his drug addiction. I'm talking about
Gibson smoked in a long time.
Yeah.
Hasn't smoked in many years because he smoked like a fucking chimney.
And I mean, and like I said, nobody's perfect or whatever. And you know what? You don't have to necessarily forgive the guy, whatever, and everything. But that just shows you the character, that who you are, or whatever. But you know, he hasn't done nothing bad in a long time. And you know what? I say you give him another chance or whatever. You know, everybody has fallen short or whatever. Everybody. So, you know, we're not all perfect people. You know, you might not agree with what he said or whatever, especially if you're Jewish. I mean, I don't even have to tell you what he said, but you know. But
Isaac, put your hand down. Put your hand
down, Isaac. Put your hand down. Yeah, so I mean, hell, his best friend is Danny Glover, and like Glover is a racist too, so like
bury that hatchet.
I'm just saying. Yeah, they buried the hatchet. Let's just get Lethal Weapon 5. That's really what I'm really wanting. Like
it's all written, ready to go. Mel Gibson's gonna direct it. They just need to start filming it. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I'm so excited for it.
But my only thing that I have a problem with this right here with the ambassadorship, I kind of wish that they had somebody like roughly about our age that was on that council too, or whatever. Like, because you know, You see how,
The problem
but I
with
understand what's
our age,
going on.
our age
Yeah.
group, our age group are
Mhm.
leftist lunatics.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I know.
What
That's
about
good.
who is the guy who plays Jack Reacher in the Amazon show? What's his name?
He's a leftist.
Alan
Is
Richardson.
he
He's
really
a-
a leftist? Shit.
Yeah.
At least
He's a
leaves his
raging
politics
leftist.
at the show. Damn. Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. Anyways. Well, then
I
I,
mean,
guess
but
yeah. You
look-
have kind of
No, but I'm just saying, it's like, I would have just got Zachary Levi on there, to be honest with you.
that,
You
you know
know,
what that would work fine because he's like just over 40 or whatever, something like
Yeah.
that. Something like that. And
I mean-
Norman, good point. You are on the council, but we do not grant you the rank of master.
pretty much.
Well, there's so
Yeah.
in the comments, a lot of people are like, "Where's James Woods in this?" And I'm like,
James Woods is ancient. Also, he doesn't give a shit
Yeah.
to act anymore. He doesn't care. Yeah.
"Well, I
James
mean,
Woods
wonder-
gets paid off
I
for
am-
doing other stuff.
Genuinely
it-
curious what some of these comments say.
it's the comments on YouTube or on
Reference
the
to the
Facebook
TDS.
on
Yes, and Google.
X are funnier. The ones on the X ones are funnier. They literally rip them apart. Like, hey, these guys are old.
Yeah, here we go. I cannot believe the Over the Hill gang. They might as well bring the Golden Girls back. Their combined 233
Okay, that's
years
a
of
good
age
one.
without appeal to the youth of America. James Woods feeling so left out. Rob Schneider didn't make the cut. I mean, those okay. Some of those are pretty solid. Some of those are funny. I like them.
These are pretty funny. Like,
Rob Schneider didn't make the cut. Poor guy.
that's a good roast right there. But yeah, that's what I'll say is like, Zachary could have been on there or whatever, like just for the youth part or whatever. But it is what it is. These are like the three guys that just don't care anymore. Like they just said, like, yeah, it is what it is. Like we're gonna get our money regardless. Like they're veteran end or whatever. I mean, you telling me that you're going to cancel Tulsa King, whereas Sly Stallone is like at his best? I don't think so.
Yeah, it's the best dramatic acting he's done like ever, basically, except from like maybe the first two Rockies. Like it's the best.
And despite what you guys think about Mel Gibson, all you leftists know you guys want that Lethal Weapon 5.
That's right. That's right. And all of you guys liked Apocalypto, which brought back the subtitled movie to the West. Like not a word of it. The whole movie was spoken in a dead language that nobody knows, and you guys felt so much smarter watching it because there were subtitles. All of you loved Apocalypto. Not one of you who says, "Don't you dare come to me and say no." Actually, I didn't like Apocalypto. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. It was a good movie. Goodness. Anyways, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You want to look at what some of these people have been saying before we move on to the next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's scroll up a little bit, see what's going on here. We had Naganal coming in to say, "Hail to the homies, hail to you, Naganal, master of all mods." Wayfair saying, "You let a black man review a white woman artist. That's based." Kind of in face, I suppose. Asking you to cook the bowls like incoming Chef Phantom, and you know what? He does know how to cook, and I love what he has to cook. He's got a lot of stuff to say. Wayfair, I assume in relation to Trump being inaugurated, saying almost 3 days left. Yes, we're very, very, very close. Very close.
Yeah.
Regarding the Carrie Underwood story, Levistro saying country is not country anymore. And then in relation to how they're calling Trump a fascist and an N-A-Z-I word and how he's treasonous and stuff. Good point. All the founders of America were convicted felons by the King of England for treason. That's very true. And guess what? They were all really young. George Washington was like 20 when that happened. This is something people need to realize. The hair that you see in paintings and stuff, those are wigs. Most of them the average age of the founding fathers was 23. They were between like 19 and like 28, 29 years old. They were very young guys.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Rear Run, a man after my own heart says, "Normalize these nuts." I totally agree with it.
I mean, and once again, the founding fathers wasn't perfect. Like none of the presidents were perfect. So that's what I'm just saying. They all had a tad bit corruption with them. Not all of them, but just a little bit. You know, nobody comes into office like perfect or whatever. Like they all had their skeletons. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta get past that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Wayfair, again, bringing up a good point about the host of View. 4 unhappy harpies. I mean, when you boil it down, I agreed. And we were calling it Marxist propaganda. Yeah, that too. And Corn Boy coming in hot with the correction. It's Mississippi Valley State. Thank you. I knew Howard would be too obvious.
Thank you.
I knew that saying Howard was wrong because they were probably definitely openly against Trump for a long time. Gosh. UK Gamers here saying,
Thanks,
hey,
Corn
all,
Boy.
and shouting out David Lynch. Rip David Lynch, absolutely. Rip David Lynch, one of the goats.
Yep.
Vagabond says, hail. Good to see you, Vagabond.
Hell to you, brother. Hell to you.
Regarding David Lynch and talking about Dune, saying, I've never seen Dune 84. Very excited to see it. Well, you guys will be able to see it in the GCA Discord after the show.
For sure.
Those books, we were saying that Dune books are my favorite. Yeah, Frank Herbert's Dune and the various books after that. I know they kind of fell off in popularity as they went on, but there's so much there. Like the first 2 or 3 books, very, very, very solid. Excuse me. Bull is saying that on his stream he had less viewers than the Acolyte. And Vatla is here saying we lost two goats today. We lost David Lynch and we lost Frank Euchre. If you guys have ever seen the Charlie Sheen baseball movie, oh gosh, what is the name of it?
Major League,
where he plays Wild Thing. Frank Euchre up there, just a bit outside. Ball 3, ball 6. Ball 4, late, ball 12, and he's walked the bases loaded.
You know what he's most remembered for was WrestleMania. Was WrestleMania, I think.
Oh, that's right.
Or
he was
where
an
Andre
announcer.
the Giant grabs his neck and goes, "Ooh!" WWE Hall of Famer. He's a WWE Hall of Famer.
Shout out to Frank Euchre. Shout out to Frank Euchre.
Frank.
UK Gamer says that there's some breaking gaming news coming out of Bioware. Well, if we have time, I will. I'll see if we can pull it up and see if we can cover it. Vagabond coming in to say that his master, his sensei, worked with Mel Gibson on the first 2 Lethal Weapon movies, and his sensei is black. I mean, again, it comes to if you're a master in your craft, I don't give a shit what you look like. If you're good at it, I want you, and that's the way it should be.
That's what it should be. Go back to merit, man.
Saying that, Jason Richmond claims to be Christian. Psychotic is more accurate. Well, it seems so.
Yeah, leftist Christians, that's a whole nother stream in itself. Never mind.
Boy, thank you for the reminder. This is our last homie stream under Biden. It is, and there's no way legally or biologically we would ever stream under Biden again. Believe me. So we're gonna be fine.
That got clipped. I bet you that got clipped.
Westward saying, put the O back in country. That's pretty good. Bolin says, imagine fumbling a 13 colony lead.
Yo, the chat is funny, bro. Like,
chat is takeover.
Night. Oh my gosh! Oh, this one's good too. Cannot wait for you guys to get monetized. The super chat floodgates will open and Jake will be. Yes. Oh, dude. Everybody just have their finger high above the clip button, getting ready to record everything I'm about to say. Oh man.
And no,
for sure,
no, don't expect me to read anything.
Dude, I got it covered. Excuse me. Mo is here saying hello there. And corrected me saying Bob Euchre. Thank you. I misspoke. It is Bob Euchre. And of course, Cornway covered my favorite line, just a bit outside. And ABF is also here. Hey, hello and hail to you, good sir.
Well, hail to the brothers of the GCA.
Oh, and
Bob. Good to see you guys.
Didn't realize he was in Mr. Belvedere. That is a little before my time, but I'll allow it. And that looks like what we have for right now. Everybody else saying hi to everybody else. I'm glad everybody's interacting with the chat and having fun with each other. That's what I like to see. So we got up next.
So now it is time for a trailer, and you know what that means? It's time for trailer trash.
Let's do it, baby.
All right. Oh man. Let's see. What trailer do we have?
So we got on the docket for trailers, Grease.
Well, yeah, it was yesterday. Yesterday, the Daredevil trailer again dropped, and so we're gonna be watching that. You know, and I already watched it. I think it's pretty good. I hope you boys will like it. And let's just give our thoughts on it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's go ahead. Let's pull this up. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and pull this up. No copyrighted music, so we'll be able to watch the whole thing. And we are going to go ahead. We are going to make sure that this is cranked. Good. And in 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1.
Already
for finding the time.
Mm-hmm.
I will admit, it's not entirely unpleasant seeing you again. A lot of time has passed. By the look of it, you've come up in the world. I could say the same about you. The mayor serves his city.
Rogers.
I can see you're not entirely convinced.
Vincent D'Onofrio is such a great actor.
He is 6'6" and just built like a brick shit house.
Why did you stop being a vigilante?
Why did you stop being a vigilante?
It's hard to come to terms with a violent nature. Hating power. It has over us.
Ooh.
There's no blood. Plus, blood.
This city can't go unchecked.
Bullseye.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes peace needs to be broken. And chaos must reign.
Hey.
Mind putting the hatchet down?
Sean
I was
burnt
raised
off.
to believe in grace. But I was also raised to believe in retribution.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I like it. I think it's solid. I think it's a solid trailer.
I do too. And you know what? There was a lot of talk when Disney announced that on Disney Plus they're bringing back Daredevil, and everyone's like, "Oh, boo! It's going to be way worse than Netflix Daredevil. They're going to PG-ify it. There's not going to be any blood. There's not going to be any nothing." Dude, I just saw somebody stomp on somebody's outstretched leg and their leg bend the other way. I then saw Daredevil grab somebody's arm and snap their elbow the wrong way and saw blood pour through their sweater, and then a man had his head smashed into broken glass. Like, I feel like Disney read the room and was like, okay, we need we have to make this better, especially because they have John Bernthal as the Punisher. Wilson Fisk now is the mayor.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Shout out Vincent D'Onofrio. God, what a fucking legend. Funnily enough, quick sidebar. When he was cast in Full Metal Jacket, he was too skinny for the role. Like he had to gain like 35 pounds in like a couple months.
That's crazy.
So he went on a diet of donuts and like whole milk for a couple of months to get fatter, because his character was supposed to be this fat slob, and Vincent D'Onofrio was quite a svelte, slender, athletic guy. And so, but he kind of like leaned into that, and basically every role he's had after that, because he's so big. Like, there's nobody in Hollywood that's 6'6". There's only a couple of people that actually are, and Vincent D'Onofrio has held on to that one spot for a long time. But anyways, I'm genuinely excited, because if the show is going to be like that, if that trailer is indicative of what the show is going to be like, I very, very, very much look forward to it.
Well, all I have to say is hope for the best, expect the worst. It's Disney.
Mhm.
Hopefully we will. Hopefully, knowing ABF, they'll probably be watch party.
Oh yeah,
I'll be definitely there, and we will review it.
Definitely be doing some reviews on that one. Like do some
my-
videos.
My thing is, they cucked Daredevil and She-Hulk. They made him do the walk of shame.
yes.
I
They were
love.
explicit about calling it a walk of shame as well, weren't they?
Mhm, yeah. I love the Netflix Daredevil. I love the Punisher on that. I think season 2. Season 1 was phenomenal. I'm just worried it's Disney and they'll fuck it up somewhere. I'm just gonna say hope for the best, expect the worst. It is Disney, but I'll give it a chance.
Yeah, and just a couple of statements to that right now. Ebola is saying, "Hope for the best, prepare for the worst." Absolutely. Norman's saying, "I spoke with Sasuke sister. I know it's hard to tell them apart, and they said they know the creatives that took over the project and are looking forward to it. That
Okay, that's good.
That's pretty nice."
Good.
And then we have Vatlaw coming in. It's still Disney. The tradition is start with a bang, end with a whimper. Yes, but again.
Let's just. It's one of them things. Like we gotta take it like each episode at a time. I mean,
Well,
to be fair,
I'll say this much: if the Saskas are excited to watch it, I do too.
yeah. Well, I mean, just to be fair, just to be fair to Marvel or whatever. I mean, we were all saying the same thing about X-Men '97, and we saw how that turned out. It ended up being a banger, and so with that being said, I am optimistic about this Daredevil or whatever. But I'm willing to give it a chance or whatever. I already made up my mind. It's not part of the original Daredevil series, no matter how good or how bad it is or whatever. I just see it as its own separate universe in my head canon or whatever.
It's going to be known as Disney Daredevil,
right?
Disney Punisher,
yeah. So but that's just my head canon. I know they said that it's still connected to the Netflix. I don't necessarily agree with that, but it is what it is. But if it's gonna be like what it's like in the trailer, I'm excited.
Yeah, same. And it's at the very least connected to the Netflix series in that. Well, in the real world side, Disney bought it and it's theirs now. But also they brought back all of the actors. They're all there. All the same people are back. And I imagine that at least on the day when they're shooting and they had people from production and the director, and they're like, okay, John Bernthal, for instance, you are the Punisher. Remember what you did a number of years ago in your show? That's you now. That's still you. Just do that again. Just read these new lines. So should be. I'm looking forward to it.
All I have to say, Disney, don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck it up, Disney.
Just don't fuck it
We
up.
have a really sharp eye on you.
And trust me, if the show's good, we'll tell you. If the show is terrible, we'll tell you.
We'll tell you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We'll tell you. We'll let you know.
So when does that come out? When does that start?
It said March 4th. March 4th, I believe. If I can.
Couple of months.
Yeah.
It says March 4th. Yeah, it's March 4th.
Yeah. So it's gonna be 13. Is there still gonna be 13 episodes?
I don't know. I can really quick see if I can search for that. Whoops, I clicked to the wrong IMDb.com.
Because if it's 8 episodes, I'm a little worried because that has not been a great format for the Disney Plus shows or whatever. When they do 8 episodes, it's better.
Right.
It's better if they do like maybe 12 or whatever.
Okay, this is interesting. it says Daredevil Born Again. They have a drop down for 2 seasons because season 1 is going to have 9 episodes. Season 2 is also going to have 9 episodes. So I assume they've already set it up for 2 seasons.
Okay.
I don't know if they're both filmed.
Okay.
But 9 and 9 it seems. I have no idea when the second season would come out, but there we
go. Knowing them is going on the reception that Daredevil will have.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Listen,
I guess
all you just have to do is give us the hallway scenes. Don't make Daredevil a cuck or whatever. Ignore, like, pretend that She-Hulk stuff never happened or whatever. Like,
or Echo, or
making the Kingpin cry or anything. None of that or whatever. Like, just ignore all that.
No, yeah.
Don't even bring up. Don't bring up Hawkeye. Don't bring up
Kane.
Don't bring up any of those. Like, this is his own little thing right here. Cause if I think I know what they're doing, they're trying to if the second season, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get the Defenders thing. They're gonna probably try to do their own version of the Defenders again or whatever. So, they'll probably get Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Punisher.
That was going to be my question. If you think that they have 2 seasons that they've already lined up, first season will be mostly Daredevil stuff, obviously. Doing the Defenders, do you think they would bring back the same actors who were Luke Cage, Jessica Jones?
Yeah.
What about Iron Fist?
They need some.
This is how I would see it. Bring the dude back for Luke Cage. Pull up another street level hero than Jessica Jones, and recast Iron Fist.
Okay.
I think it'd be. I mean, I would. You know who'd be better in the Defenders?
What's that?
I don't know if anybody would agree with this, but why don't we just have Black Cat be part of the Defenders? She was part of it in the comic books at one point.
Yeah.
So I wonder if so. Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, like, from what this is leading up, and we'll talk about it later on because, like, there is a little bit of Spider-Man news that these are also, like, the street level characters are supposed to end up meeting Spider-Man soon or whatever, which I hope that happens or whatever. But but yeah, as far as like another street level character, I could see just Black Cat, or I mean, you could bring back Wesley Snipes' Blade or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
maybe that's.
I mean, if you're gonna bring back Blade, you might as well go ahead and just do it right now and give us that one last movie. Just give me one more movie,
dude. You know what they could do? If they would say bring Wesley Snipes' Blade back, you have the Punisher. And if you could like throw a cameo of Wolverine, you would have the Black Hearts. You would have the Black Hearts.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
you would have hell. Even if you bring Ghost Rider.
Could you imagine if they brought Ghost Rider in with Daredevil?
Yeah.
Oh,
and make it Johnny Blaze, not that. No.
Bring back Nick Cage. Bring Nick Cage back.
Yes.
I'll always remember that line where when Nick Cage is in Ghost Rider, there's the scene where he's in front of the mirror after his first transformation. He's got like abs, and you see all his biceps, right? So he's jacked. And he did an interview after. They did an interview after the case, and the person talking to him was like, "So, how did you feel about like them CGIing you in that scene where you're in front of the mirror to show off your body and stuff?" And Nick Cage was like, "Actually, I worked really hard to get that body for the movie." Because this was around the time when now they were first beginning to train actors before the movies to get all jacked, but they weren't quite there yet.
Yeah.
And Nick Cage was like, "No, I worked really hard to look like that." So thanks for that question.
Hey, at least it'd be better than that shitty CGI bullshit they did in the Flash movie where they just had CGI.
Gosh.
We're having a moment here. Why we got to bring up bad movies? Like we're talking about something good. Like,
yeah, let's look and see what's in our comments before we all have a conniption and we all lose our shit before we move on to the next topic. Let's see what some of the chat has been saying.
Let's look at the comment section again. What are they saying about the Daredevil?
Batla was saying he comment on that Daredevil boring again. It may come true, but for now this is good. I agree. The trailer looks good, and it gives me hope that it's going to be good. We run kind of in the same boat as the rest of us, saying I blame She-Hulk for how we felt about Daredevil. Hopefully, this trailer is alleviating some of that. I'm absolutely behind Norman with this. The music slaps. It really does.
The music did slap. It was really good.
Cornboy, cautiously optimistic, and as we all are.
Same. Yeah.
UK Gamer saying it's a solid trailer, but we have all been let down with the actual show before. That's also true.
It's like Gary said, never let up on Hollywood. Like always make them pay or whatever. They don't get the benefit of the doubt anymore or whatever.
Yeah. Yes, just keep the screws to him. Just keep the screws to him. Saying I do like the trailer, but it is not Netflix Daredevil. It's not Netflix Daredevil, but it's still the same characters. Some of the behind the scenes creatives are still there. You know, again, they have Charlie Cox, they have John Bernthal. They're the same actors are there. It looks like that they're going to do.
The only thing I caution is the writing team or whatever. Like that's the only thing that. Like, I mean, I know Gary says they don't have the same writing team, but like once again, if they the Saskas, which I truly trust or whatever, they're awesome or whatever. I'll be talking to them too on like on X or whatever, and if they say that this is good to go, then I trust their judgment or whatever. I trust their judgment.
Fair enough. And then some stuff where I was curious about the Suskas. And then Vatla brings up a point that something I was thinking of, but I didn't quite bring up, which is Black Cat is owned by Sony. She is.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
So it wouldn't be impossible. Be very convoluted. That is something I was actually going to bring up when talking about bringing Black Cat on as a street level, because she's owned by Sony, and the Marvel Sony split for the characters is all movie stuff. All movie stuff. It's not. There's no TV stuff as far as I'm aware. And I also agree here. Also, if they had properly cast Felicia Hardy, all in for it. Yes, if they did, correct. Weasel, shots fired to you, Phantom, from Weasel. Phantom is all about D's pair. D's pair nuts. Got him. Oh, and he even used his bad hand. Yeah, exactly. And Bjorn said it's like,
and it hurt like a son bitch too. Fuck you, Weasel.
Why are you doing it to yourself, man? Come on.
I forget. Damn it!
Weasel laughing up a storm.
Damn it, Weasel!
It's calm down. Calm down. Bjorn says it's like a sliced apple. It can be beautiful and look lovely on the outside, and will be completely rotten on the inside. That's how I look at most trailers. And you know what? I don't think any of us here or in chat can blame you for looking at trailers that way. And I know every single one of us here have that. You know, trailer looks good. Let's hope. Let's hope it's good. And if it's bad,
I'll give you a great example. The Echo trailer, it was really good. It got me a little interested or whatever. And when I watched the show, I said, like, man, I regretted those 4 hours of my life.
Well,
3 hours and 30 minutes of my life.
And that show went right off the reservation, didn't have a leg to stand on, and man, people really just never heard of it.
Yeah, dude, we definitely need to get the clap bell for getting for that. Oh,
the Weasel's making Phantom harm himself. Yeah, Weasel's his mortal enemy. Oh, and the show, of course, fell on deaf ears. It
did.
Very, very good. Very good.
So, I think the show would have been way better if they had more peace pipes in there, man. Like, more peace pipes and more like, Indian heritage ancestry or whatever. Maybe some more Redskins up in there, like the Redskin football team. That'll be pretty good right there. That'd be amazing representation. because God forbid if you're called the Commanders or whatever, that doesn't even sound correct. Or whatever.
Come
Hashtag-
on. Come on. Let's have a peace. Let's sit down and have a peace pipe, man. Let's have
Yeah, let's just bury
Coyote. Just bury it.
See how many more we can get in here. Also, shout out. I know that the Redskins, because you know what? Because they're going to turn into the Redskins again soon. Washington football team was dumb. The Commanders are dumb, and the Redskins are coming back. And even though they're in the NFC East with the Eagles, I'll be happy to see the Redskins come back. I would like to beat the Redskins next season. Anyway.
Yeah, for sure, man.
What's up next on the docket, Chris?
Well, I mean, we can do clown of the. We could go ahead and do clown of the week or whatever. Starting with the Joe Biden / Gavin Newsom stuff with the $770 for aid. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so let's show this. Benny Johnson threw up a tweet where he said that Biden just announced $770, not 770 Martian pesos, not 770 wampum, $770 one-time payments to the victims of the California fires. Bravo.
Well, you guys
think go down 8,300 houses in a single development burned to the fucking ground. Here's $770. Go buy, I don't know, just eat it Whataburger for the next 4 months, I guess. Like
they don't have Whataburger over there. They have
whatever. In-N-Out. Eat it In-N-Out. In-N-Out. Excuse me. Whatever.
And people wonder why Trump got back in office. They spend more money on illegal aliens, money to Ukraine. Ain't this about the same amount they give to the people after Hurricane Helene? Around the same amount.
They got $750, my friend. $750.
Yeah, so
$20 more.
Dude, FEMA is out of money. Why? Because of their fucking spending. Thousands and thousands of people lost their homes, their livelihoods, everything.
Mm-hmm.
This won't even go on a down payment for a new home.
It won't. This can't even buy you groceries in California, by the way. I'm just throwing it.
It can't put it. So another thing that really pisses me off about this Gavin Newsom bullshit like this, so I think it was Idaho sent down fire trucks to help.
Mm-hmm.
What did Gavin Newsom do? They had to be tested for carbon emissions, and they were stuck. They were stuck at fucking what's the capital of California?
Is it San Diego? Oh man, we failed our I don't know. LA? Los Angeles?
No. Vagabond probably.
What's the capital? What's the capital of California? Sacramento. Okay, yes,
yeah,
Sacramento.
So Idaho sent down fire trucks to help, and they were stuck at Sacramento getting carbon emission testing. They wouldn't let them help them.
Oh, you mean driving into California, they had to do emissions.
I think they did the same thing. I think they did the same thing with Texas too. Like, we send over some firefighters over there, and they said, like, well, we got to test out your trucks to make sure that. No, screw that. People are dying. How about that? Really. How about that?
I don't know if you guys mentioned it while I stepped away for a moment, but South Africa, like the country, South Africa, has sent over to California like numerous dozens of firefighters. Like possibly near around 100 firefighters. So
it's crazy.
There's states that are trying to send people over to assist. There's states closer that are trying to like send their vehicles over to assist. And we have countries on the other side of the world that are sending people over. I don't know if they were requested. It didn't say in the article that I read, but I did see that South Africa specifically was sending over a number of
That
firefighters.
just
'Cause
shows-
they also
that
look at
just
dry
shows-
area that burns as well. So
That just shows you it doesn't matter what color your state is. You're still American. We're still gonna ride or die for you, even though I don't like California or whatever. You know, you're still American. We're gonna try to do our best. But your governor is a moron. He made that specifically, where he literally lied to the woman in front of her face, saying that she was calling Joe Biden to get people out here. That's how much he cares about
Yep.
you. And
Yep.
you idiots are going to keep on voting for him, and you get what you deserve. And I hate to say it like that. That's what you get. You got American Psycho. You got Norman Bates as.
Mm,
I don't get it, bro. What is wrong? Like, Vagabond, what's wrong with your state? What's going on over there, man? What's wrong with California?
Well,
they're
to-
fucking retarded.
To be fair, he fled California, so
That's just
we're
true.
not gonna put it all
So
on
did
him.
Gary.
So to get a
Yeah.
lot of people, a lot of people fled. One of the things I found out the other day was, so California, being the bureaucratic hole that it is, has people like middle managers in charge of like literally everything, and they have a state employee who her entire job is to make sure that fire hydrants have water going to them. And as you guys know, there's been a lot of issues where firefighters are going to hook up hoses to fire hydrants and they're cranking them open and no water is coming out. It's taking like 2 to 3 minutes for water to start coming out, or they're getting like a slight little trickle of water because it's been years since they've filled their fucking reservoirs. Do you guys want to guess? Do you guys want to guess how much this lady makes in a year? What her salary is?
Oh, she probably makes
Too much.
probably close to $1 million.
$735,000 a year.
And
I want her job.
Jake. And remember, Jake.
And I guarantee you get water.
I could tell them to fill up the reservoirs and figure out how to get water there. My father was a marine pipe fitter. I can move anything from A to B through a pipe. I'll figure it out.
And gotta remember, Jake, the reason why they won't fill it up is because of a tiny fucking fish. It's a fish.
Yeah, they want to protect one fish, and I was, again, because my dad and my uncle and my grandfather are environmental engineers, but there's a difference between like leftist going out of your way, weird, crazy environmentalism where you're like solo focused on one thing, and like actual conservation where you have to look at the whole of the ecosystem. And as an environmental engineer, when you're checking out job sites, whatever, to make sure the groundwater is clean, things like that, you do have to pay attention to the whole of what is going on. So when you're paying attention to just a single fish, like one fish, which, believe me, if we really gave that much of a shit and we really cared to save this, we could set up fisheries to make sure there's plenty of these fish. We could figure it out artificially. But when you do it naturally to focus on one single species, all of the other species that rely on that, either up the food chain or down the food chain, disappear as well. So you're trying to save one single salmon or one single type of whitefish, which is going to kill who knows how many more fish or allow more invasive species into things like that. Like it's all about this intense initial immediate gratification, as opposed to, hey, you care enough about this fish. Do you want like your great grandchildren to be able to have some of this fish? Well, then you have to have to think a few orders ahead of what's right in front of your eyes.
And also, remember. So when the fire started, Gavin Newsom was literally going and having bills signed up to put into law to fight Trump. The mayor of Los Angeles, instead of being in her city, was in West Africa at
she was in West Africa doing something. Yeah,
she was at a party.
Yeah,
it wasn't a diplomatic thing. It was a party.
Party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my gosh,
it's crazy.
Oh my gosh. And I don't know who it was who told me this. It might have been last week, and it might have been one of you, or it might have been Bjorn. I'm not sure. I quite remember. But ever since Trump came into office, for those 4 years, his entirety of those 4 years, the state of California brought 100 on average 100 lawsuits every 3 weeks for the entirety of those 4 years. Mm-hmm. And yes, they are. They're lining up. They got them all stacked up, ready to go, ready to file them out as soon as Trump becomes president. They're just, and it's all, when you think about it, when you really not water it down, when you really concentrate it down, it's all out of spite. It's all spite just because you
Mhm.
hate this person. You dislike what they do. You dislike why they do it. Even though someone like Trump, like, genuinely does want to help California because it's still a state in his country that he's going to be in charge of. Like, he might not like you, Gavin Newsom, for instance, but the state still matters. There's a lot of division. I'll try and leave myself there.
And you also got to look at it this way. When he finally gets out of office, Kamala's going to run for. She's going. There are rumors she's going to go for governor of California.
Really?
Yeah.
I do not see that happening at all.
No.
No way.
At this point, Gavin Newsom doesn't care, and we all know that when he leaves office, he can't be charged, he can't be arrested.
No.
You know, he has immunity because he was governor.
Right, which is what Trump had when he was president, how he had executive authority and immunity. We see how much that mattered for him.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying that I have family out in California, and haven't talked to them in a long time. I feel bad for them.
I do too.
I just feel
Yeah.
that.
I mean, going back to slightly earlier in the show where we were talking about Hollywood ambassadors, I saw the clip of Mel Gibson. He was sitting next to Russell Brand, I believe, down in Mar-a-Lago.
Mm-hmm.
And the clip is Mel Gibson like gets an alert on his phone and he looks at it and you see his face change and he leans over to Russell Wilson and it's mic'd up. You can catch it. And he says, "My house is currently burning down." And Russell Wilson's like, "What, in Australia?" He's like, "No, here in California." Like, he's in the middle
crazy.
of, he's sitting at the back with a few representatives. Like I said, he's sitting next to Russell Brand while Trump is talking. And he's like, "My house is burning down." Like, he's looking at it on the news. Like, Mel Gibson's house burned. And it did. It did. And I remember the day before I was watching the Joe Rogan episode with Mel Gibson on, which was recorded a few days prior to that. He was like, there's a danger that my house is going to burn down. And it did.
It's crazy.
Burned down to the ground. He's in the middle of this thing, announced as an ambassador, an arts ambassador, and fucking house burns down. Like, good.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
See, and I don't wish nothing bad to happen to celebrities' houses or anything like that. A lot of them are crazy. I don't want nobody to go without a home or anything like that, because that sucks. That sucks. Like, you just pray that things will stop or wherever things will cool down, and maybe they can like figure a way how to don't they have some type of, they can't like clear out their bushes or something like that? Maybe they can start clearing out their mulch or whatever.
So that's a thing that when Trump was president, he was talking about. He was like, "Look, this hasn't been done in California in a long time, in years, but what we need to do is we need to go to the forest line, because obviously, you got like the ocean, the Pacific Coast Highway, all the developed areas. Then you just have the woods, the forest, basically. And we need to go there. We need to clean up all the dead wood from the forest floor, which is a proper term. We need to collect it, and the only way to get rid of it is to burn it. You have to, because if you don't collect it into one spot and burn it, it will burn where it is, including everything else with it." And the big things were, the forest floor, doesn't he mean the ground? It's like, no, it's called the forest floor for a reason. Secondly, going back to leftist environmentalists, if you put a whole bunch of dead wood in a big old pile in a parking lot somewhere and you set it on fire, everybody's gonna be out there with news cameras and their phones taking pictures of all the smoke rising. Like, oh, look at all the CO2 they're putting into the atmosphere. Oh, blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, it's either we get a big ass parking lot and we put everything in there and we hose it all down around so it doesn't spread and we do a controlled burn, or we keep it where it is and it burns down tens of thousands of acres of woods, including potentially your house. How do you feel about that? But again, this goes back to what's right in front of their eyes. That's all they care about. They can't think other orders ahead about what the possible implications are. Yes, it would look bad to have a massive pile of wood burning black in smoke in a parking lot somewhere. It's going to be way worse when it burns down tens of thousands of homes, which is what it's
Your
like
house
right now. Oh, drive by from Sophie. Hail, nerd. Good to see you.
Wasn't there like also a speech that you said that happened with Biden? Phantom?
Yeah, it was a couple days ago, or no, it was yesterday. Excuse me.
Last night.
Yeah, he gave his official farewell speech yesterday, which it wasn't as long. It wasn't super long. It was like maybe a half hour, something like that, and to be expected. I only caught a little bit of it, but I tried to read some of the transcription on the website, on the White House website, which, of course, is all touched up to make it look like he wasn't stuttering or whatever. A lot of it was a lot of firing shots at Trump previously, before he came in office, and now that he's about to come in office again, and talking about a lot of the great stuff that he's done for the American people.
Man, you know what? I don't even want to get into it.
I don't either.
I was going to just say this, like, man, we might as well go to the next subject, because that was just, now that's comedy.
Okay.
All we gotta say, hey, Joe Biden, this is all we got to say to you.
Enjoy swimming.
But we don't want to let him in the pool.
We
don't want to let him in the pool because of how the young kids will come and press down his legs in the water. Press hairy legs down the water.
In Fortnite, enjoy swimming in Fortnite. Just wanted to throw it. He's still president, man. Like, still president. Yeah. Like, Jake, can you pull up the critical drinker stuff or whatever for me?
Yeah. I can pull it up. So, Bounding Into Comics released an article. What?
Oh, yes, right. Never mind. I forgot.
Okay.
I was looking. I forgot we switched shit up. My bad.
Mm-hmm. So, Bounding Into Comics put up an article January 8th. I think we might have covered it a tiny amount last week, or we might have pushed it. I'm not sure. But the headline here is Kingdom Come Deliverance series director claims that AAA studios are, quote, really terrified, end quote, of internet critics like Asmongold and The Critical Drinker. Quote, when somebody starts to critique the game and the corporate world, it does have an impact. And there are a few, there's this statement from this director, and then there's a few names that they specifically bring up, like Drinker, like Asmon. And he brings up a good point. These people that have millions and millions of followers on YouTube, Twitter, or X, and Instagram, and things like that, when they put out a video that is, I mean, critiquing is a very soft word to use. Sometimes it's a fucking takedown. When they put out a video talking about how shitty these people are and what they're doing, people pay attention. People pay attention to that stuff, you know? There's...
my thing is this, because I was blessed to, like, actually do a stream with The Critical Drinker. The Drinker is, like, so balanced, and he's fair. Like, my thing is this, he is fair. Like, they didn't add that part into it. Like, because if you watch his videos, he'll tell you if a movie is good. He'll tell you if a movie is bad. He'll tell you if a movie is just okay or whatever. Heck, he even told people that Wicked wasn't that bad for what it was or whatever. Like, that was a surprising for me or whatever, when he did a good review on Wicked or whatever.
Yeah, the title of the video was, I think the title was something like surprisingly not bad. Like something like that. Like, it was surprisingly not bad. I thought it was going to be shit. It was actually pretty okay. Again, for what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like, and once again, I streamed with The Critical Drinker. He's a nice guy or whatever. He gave me some of the best advice that a YouTuber could ever get or whatever. Like, you know, and yeah, man, these companies don't like YouTubers. Because the thing is, they can't control us. That's just the thing. They hate new media. It's like we said, we're the new media. They hate the fact that they can't control the narrative anymore. So that's one of the main reasons why they hate The Critical Drinker and, like, people like Jeremy, Eric, all of them. Like, you know,
Gary. Oh yeah, hate them all.
Especially Gary. They despise Gary. They know who Nerd
why
Roddick
they
is.
despise Gary, and this is a personal opinion of mine regarding why I believe they despise Gary, why they despise Nerd Roddick. It's because he's a guy he's middle aged, but he's similar to some of these like Hollywood creative types where they were not perfect people. They've done things in their past that they're not proud of. But unlike them, Gary has absolved himself. He's paid his penance, and he's moved on, and he's done better for himself, his family. He's created something new. Whereas these guys over here are still just failing their way up, making loads and loads of more money, still being absolute pieces of shit. And, you know, Gary will openly say, like, hey, I was a piece of shit when I was young. I did some stupid stuff, but I learned from it, and I got better. You know, and I have a wife. I got, you know, I have a family. I've got this channel. I've got this fellowship. You know, and I think they see that. They see how someone can pay their penance and how they can reconcile and how people can gather around them and support them. And they hate that because they know they're not the type of people that can get it.
They definitely are panicking with Gary and Critical Drinker now since they've been on Piers Morgan multiple times too, or whatever. So like they're saying like, why Piers? Why are you giving them a platform? Because I love movies. Like that's what he basically said.
If Piers Morgan running his show is going to bring on people to talk, and those people ostensibly will bring their followings with them. Who would you prefer to bring on? Somebody who writes for the New Yorker, who maybe 30,000 people read their article, or two guys that each put out like 4 to 6 videos a month that get millions of views? Come on. You want viewers for your show? That's obviously who you're going to bring on, the guys that have those built-in followers. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. Piers gets it. Like, that's just the thing. Piers is from the old school media, but he gets it. He's just like,
he understands.
We're dead. We're a dead brand. It is what it is. I need to get with these newer people, these younger guys or whatever. Like they know the game better than me. And see, like that's the only problem with these old heads or whatever. Like, you know, it happens in sports too. Like the Stephen A. Smiths and the Skip Baylesses. They think that they think that they know it all, but like, dude, like I can name you a couple of sports podcasts that are more funnier, have better intellect on the sport, and like they can provide better entertainment or whatever. Absolutely. And once again, it's one of those things they can't control the narrative, and they can't, and they don't like YouTubers. That's all this is about. This is just an article against not just the drinker, but just the YouTube community in itself or whatever. They can't stand it or whatever.
No.
If they find out that you're a YouTuber, they're not inviting you to the Hollywood parties unless you kiss their butt. That's basically how it is.
Well,
that's
good.
We are the new media.
Yes,
hands down. I mean, you're not.
This is what people tune in to watch.
Yeah, it's like we're not just gonna sit back and say that something's good when it's awful. Or say something's awful when it's good. We're not gonna play that bullshit.
Right.
And they know they can't control Drinker. They can't control Gary. They can't control nobody.
Right.
And they're terrified of us. That's the reason why they've talked down on YouTubers. They've tried to get channels destroyed. They implement all this BS, and I believe it was the mainstream that went to Google and said, look, these guys are getting popular. You guys going to do something to them.
Right. And that's why when you go to YouTube, like on a weeknight, for instance, and you go to the trending tab and you go to like news and world events, it doesn't matter if Timcast, regardless of your opinion of Timcast, I'm just picking an example. It doesn't matter if you look at Timcast, who pulls in like 50,000 concurrent live viewers every night for 2 hours straight. What are the first 3 results? CNN, MSNBC. Sometimes they throw in Fox. There's a little bit of ABC Nightly News with Lester Holt. And they may be getting they might be getting like 50 to 80,000 in-key demo on TV. But there's no freaking way that they have 50 1,000 people locked in for 2 hours between the ages of 18 and 35. No way.
It's a lot.
Not a chance.
Yeah, there's no way. Because people are into the Joe Rogans. People are into the even. I mean,
They're
me
into the long
personally,
form.
I don't
They're into
think.
the long form.
Yeah, me personally, I don't necessarily agree with these guys, but like they're popular. With Fresh and Fit, like those guys got a lot of viewers and everything. Like, you know, you gotta respect this. Like they don't like YouTubers or whatever. Like, you know, if when you build an audience and they feel like you're a threat, they're gonna try to take you out or whatever. And my thing is this, like, we gotta protect the YouTube home no matter what. You know, even if I don't necessarily agree with that person on the other side that's trying to take my head off or whatever, that, you know, we don't agree on pop culture or anything like that, I will do my best to protect their right to say whatever they have to say on YouTube if I can just get the same thing or whatever. Like, you know, give me the same thing or whatever.
Absolutely.
I don't want nobody to be canceled off of YouTube or whatever because old media is up in their feelings and they just don't get it or whatever.
Yeah. And as long as, you know, when people are uploading stuff on YouTube, they can say whatever they want. As long as they're not calling for like explicit violence against a specific group of people, you're not committing like an actual crime, like burn this person's house down, go to this person's house and kill their dog. You know, you're not saying stuff like that. If you're saying shit about how a show sucks, who cares, man? That's the way it should be, honestly. And I understand, like you said, there's going to be companies that are going to be like, shaking their fist in the air at those critical drinkers saying how their show sucks. It's like, well, make a better show then, idiot. Jeez.
Yeah.
God bless
I mean, we can just use the Gina Carano stuff. Like, they told her that she needs to unfollow some people. Who are some of those people? How come they didn't give out the names? Because guess what? If they gave out those names, people are gonna go see like, oh, Geeks and Gamers. Are these guys really bad? Let me go check them out or whatever. Or like Neurotic, let me go check them out. Eric July, let me go check them out. As Hill Babyface, let me go check them out or whatever. You know,
and
they're smart. Like the Disney's, don't let Disney fool you. They will figure a way how they know who everyone is, man. They and they don't want to admit it. They don't want to admit it because they know if they do, they're gonna lose even more of their audience.
Absolutely.
And we know they watch us. We know they watch us.
Yes.
I mean, look at the recent Blue Beetle comic book where they actually literally draw. I mean, Jeremy's in the comic book, Gary's in the comic book, Ripa, and everybody else. So, I mean, at this point, I just say, let me just give you a little bit of advice.
Okay.
If you are passionate about this stuff, it's not hard to go start a YouTube account, go and start a show. Look at us. Look at the GCA. We're products of, you know, we're following the footsteps of G&G and Nerderotic. We're following the footsteps of the GCA. It is not hard to get a camera and a microphone and do a show.
Yep.
We done it. Look at us. We're over 111 subscribers right now.
We just started.
Just started.
It's not that hard. Just do me one favor, everybody. If you're in a group of people, and they have a show, there's some do's and don'ts. There's do's and don'ts. I'm going to be very simple about this.
I'm waiting for it.
One.
Go ahead, brother.
One. You don't beg to go on somebody's show. You just don't do it. That doesn't help you.
What's the second one?
What's number two?
Second one, if you have a camera and you have a microphone, it's not hard to start a show. Come up with it, do it. I mean, look at Idaho Mike. I mean, yeah, look. I mean, everybody, it's not hard to fucking start a YouTube channel and talk about this stuff.
No, it's not.
It's not. Look, hey, look, we got a black guy. We got a quarter black guy. And we got a dumb redneck from Georgia.
That's right. Yeah, when me and Vagabond get together, we have a whole black man, and that makes us really happy.
And it's like we do this every week.
Mhm.
And what if I wouldn't be here, I'd probably be in the GCA or maybe I'd be playing my video game right now.
Yeah, really.
Come on here. We come on here. We have fun every single week, talking to you guys, talking the culture and everything.
That's why we do it.
It's not hard to do.
This is fun because we were going. You know why? And this is something that I think old media maybe used to get but doesn't get now, especially with how this works. With like anybody can make a YouTube. If you really wanted to, within a half hour, you could log into the YouTube for first time and upload your first live stream. You really could, if you really tried. What I think they don't get is for the vast majority of us and the people in the circles that we walk in, the stuff that we're doing, like 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Thursday on For the Homies, Crease Fan and myself, the stuff that we're doing, we would be doing this anyway. We would be sitting in a voice chat somewhere doing this anyway. And what did we decide to do? We decided to do it here because it's fun and we get more people to interact.
It's fun.
That's why we do it. It's just an extra little bit of work, just an extra time. It's not even that much, just a tiny little bit extra work, and you get to have fun with even more people, and you get to build something out of it.
Can I add something to this too, real quick? And there's a third thing that you did. The third thing that you did forget, Phantom, is have fun. That was the main thing that Drinker told me. Like, when you do YouTube, always have fun. It doesn't matter how big you are. Doesn't matter how small you are. Pause. Listen, like, have fun. If you don't have fun, then you're just wasting your time. You're gonna get disinterested and you're gonna quit or whatever. Dude, this is just fun for me. I'm having the time of my life for about an hour or two every single Thursday, man.
Also, if you're doing this and you think you're going to get 1 million subscribers off the bat, or you're going to start raking in money, trust and believe. You've got to put the work into it.
Oh, trust, baby.
If you're here, think you're going to put like a couple of videos and you're gonna get monetized quick and fast. No, we've been going since June.
Yeah,
and we're grinding every fucking week.
And here's a great example of, again, someone in the circles that we walk in. Gary. Gary started doing YouTube when he set up Nerdrotic. He did it for like 2 years, and he had like 15 or 20,000 subs after 2 years. And he went to his wife. And he said, "Look, I want to try this. I want to see where I can be in like a year, but what I want to do is I really want to make this my job." So what I want to do is I watched him on the Unsub podcast talk about this. He's talked about this a few places. Like, I feel that if I quit my day job and I solely focus on this, I feel like I can make something from it. And his wife said, "Okay, a year? You want a year? Okay, I'll keep working just as well. I will do the year. And if in a year, 365 days time, if there's something coming from it, we'll keep going." And what happened?
Yeah.
In a year's time, something was coming from it. He wasn't yet making as much money as he was from his day job, but stuff was happening, and she could see the growth and he could see the growth, and they came back together and like, okay, this looks like it can happen. So we keep going into it. And then cut to like 6 years after that, he finally gets to 1 million subs. 6 years after already a year of total grinding after 2 years of doing it as a pastime. Like, it takes time.
Yeah. Dang, we didn't know we were gonna do how to do a YouTube channel video, but yeah, for the most part, dude. Look, I'll just say this. And on this, and I think we can, go back to the chat and just ask how they feel. We need more guys. We need you guys in Discord, and like, even if you haven't seen us yet or whatever, If you feel like you don't have enough courage to do it, just do it. Or whatever. If you feel like you can't do it by yourself, get some of the closest group of your guys that you don't necessarily agree with all the time, but you know you got great chemistry with each other, and you just throw it on there and everything. Just throw it on there. I mean, thank God for the kings of pop culture. Like, thank God for the kings of pop culture. Shout out to my boy Jacob and RJ and Noah and all those guys over there. There's over 10 of them, and my boy Adam. Like, thank you for letting me do that when like my first couple of years. Now, I mean, just doing this group with you guys, just having that experience already on how to be with the team and whatever, it helped me how to know what people's how people work or whatever. Fucking Phantom. I'm having a moment, dude.
there's people doing burnouts outside. There's ice outside, so there's people doing burnouts and shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Yeah, dude, guys in Discord, I know some of you guys are a little bit nervous, but I got faith in you. Phantom got faith in you, and Jake got faith in you. You guys can do a YouTube. You guys have it, and you guys are naturally funny. I ain't naming names, but I'm just saying you guys are funny or whatever.
Well, so this is another thing I want to talk about. If you like say like you tell people, oh, I have a show, I have a channel, and it's like, go do your channel, do your channel. Get, make, put videos out. It's not hard. It's not hard to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, so like with Crease. Crease is our middleman. Crease helps, structure this show. He helps with guests. He helps, putting the word out. And each of us brings something to the show. And like Mo, ABF, a lot of people in the GCA Discord have said that the three of us has probably the best chemistry they've ever seen, and it's true. And I have to admit,
it's true.
I have to admit, when Jake was gone, for as long as he was, it was.
It's a little bit harder, but we still got it done.
Harder. We still got it done. We had great help. We had great guests like Isaacs, Sophie helped run stuff, Ebola helped run stuff, and when it comes to YouTube, if you think you can't do it, don't underestimate yourself.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Just go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would be very surprised that once you just start talking,
you'd
be very surprised how well it flows out. You'd be very surprised.
Yeah. Let's look at the chat real quick. So before we close it out with pop culture. Yeah.
So excuse me. So talk about a few things here. So let's see what we got. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Let's start after Sophie did her drive-by. Well, actually, no, we still got a couple of things before that. Oh my goodness. Bjorn speaking about that singular fish species, about how that was an invasive species. Yeah, it was. I mean, it is. It is, honestly. The left gets so spiteful when they lose. Who'd have thought? I mean, really, who'd have thought? Just Vatlov was specific. The LA mayor was at the inauguration of Ghana's first female president, and it was at Biden's suggestion. So that's why she was in West Africa when there was wildfire.
Okay, she was just following orders.
I suppose. Dems made it illegal to create fire breaks. Yes, they did. You know why? Because people who are only first order thinkers look at that and they're like, they're ugly, they're not environmentally friendly, etc. You know what's not environmentally friendly? Tens of thousands of acres of trees burning down. That's pretty bad stuff. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and then of course Sophie gives the drive-by. We got that Peruvian drive-by with an airsoft pistol or something like that. Whatever it was. Oh man. And Gamer regarding Biden's farewell speech, 27.5 minutes of attacks on Trump and 1.5 minutes of Dems doing good things. Basically, that's basically what it was.
Hey, that's his presidency right there.
Yeah, exactly. Patriots saying corn boy better than corn pop. Shout out.
This is true. This is true.
I know, Mike. Speaking the truth, soon they will fear the homies. They will fear for the homies. They absolutely will.
Oh yeah.
Ryan Drinker might go to for reviews, and now the homies. Wayfarer, we love to hear it.
Oh,
We'd love to give it to
thank
you.
you, man. Appreciate it.
Don't you worry. And AP put in a few more comments regarding alt media. You know, they want to control. They hate those who are vocal against them. And bringing up something, why do people say Gary sold drugs to little kids? Where did that come from? It was going around Twitter a few months ago. I don't know where that came from.
Haters are just gonna go hate, man. Haters will hate.
Haters will hate, and I know that. Like for instance, I saw him on the Unsubscribed podcast. He's been on there twice now over the past number of months, and he's told his story, if you will, and he told some stuff that he hasn't spoken about before, but is now speaking about more that he's like settled where he is. You know, obviously not throwing out names and places and stuff, but they could have very easily listened to that and misconstrued something. Or, and that's me giving them the benefit of the doubt, or they could just be lying. They could just literally straight up be making something up. Just it's as simple as that. Bjorn saying, old media has been dead since the dawn of the internet. The moment people started talking about Star Wars in chat rooms, the media began to slow decline. Absolutely agree.
Yeah, for
absolutely.
Sure.
It's been
agree.
coming.
Agree.
It's been coming for a long, long time. And here's an example of how people abuse alt media. Mercante just dropped herself in more legal issues in an interview. She admitted to using alt accounts, sock puppets, to watch and interact with Smash TV even after the lawsuit dropped. Alyssa,
talk about snitching on yourself.
Take a long walk off a short bridge. Good Lord. AP
in Fortnite.
AP wants it a little too much, saying, "Let me on, guys. Please, I need to be relevant." I kid. I'm not desperate for Apple on other streams. Well, you know what? Reach out. Priest tends to be our person who organizes people. Want to reach out and come on sometime.
Well, we're gonna have Atomic on for the New Year's Eve stream, but you guys' new computer and it updated to like the next day.
Oh, boo, this whole thing.
Atomic, I'll reach out to you sometime, if it ain't this week, maybe next week or something. Yeah, we'll get you on here, bro. We'll get you on here. Don't worry.
Hey,
you got me on camera saying that.
Crease, check private chat.
I'm sure Vagabond laughing at my joke of what you get he and I in a room. We have one whole black man, and what a great thing. Vala's like, look at my black man here. Look at him. Isn't it great? Oh man. Yeah, and Westward advice for YouTube: talk and don't just talk. Talk about something you're passionate about. Talk about something you like. Get your people on there. Get people on there. Get your homies on there. Get yourself on there. Talk about something you like. Oh man, you do it for the content, all that stuff. Yeah. Again, YouTube is both business and a hobby. It starts out as a hobby, then once it starts to pick up, you do have to start treating it like a business. But it's one of those businesses where, when you get to that point, you have to still be in kind of the hobby mindset, if you will. Drama drives clips. Isaac shouting out how we have a great group of people. We really do. This fellowship is legendary. It really is. You came and bring up a great point. Your channel survived having Isaac on board. Sheesh, you must be good. I better believe it. For sure. West was saying, if Jeremy, an inbred homosexual, can do it, anyone can. Ouch. Shots fired at Jeremy.
Yeah, just what? Hey,
love it.
Just wait till we get monetized. We're gonna be called that the whole time.
And you know what? For sure. The moment that randos on the internet start calling me a pedo or whatever the fuck, I'm like, good. That means I made it. I'm glad where I am. Started at the bottom, now I'm here. F you, Drake. You're not us. Anyways, Vagabond's saying that it was EVS Dick Masterson folks that made up the Gary slinging drugs to kids thing. That doesn't make sense. No Diddy's the new no homo. Shout out. That sounds about right.
For sure.
Oh man. And if Ebola, you're off by a state, but if a retard from Alabama can do it, so can we.
Yeah, for sure.
And if that isn't a message to us all. Alrighty. So with you, Phantom, you good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just saw something.
I didn't know if you were trying to tap all that bullshit out of your
Bit.
What's up next, Crease?
Definitely we're going to be talking about the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, pull that up real quick. My goodness. So,
And we might have to do a speed run.
This is how I first saw the topic. I saw Nerdrotic say, "Where is Captain America?" Because the article says Captain America: Brave New World eyes 86 million to 95 million opening over President's Day weekend, a 4-day weekend, by the way, under $100 million for a Marvel movie, so that's not good. And that leads us into the actual full article from Deadline. How do you guys feel about this?
Okay, so before we started the show, I gave Chris a little theory, and I'm gonna run it to you, Jake, into the chat. So we know that in the comic books, when Steve Rogers got old, they passed the mantle over to Sam Falcon. We know that failed.
It did.
That failed horribly. And they tried to give it to Bucky, and because of Falcon's failure, Bucky failed. Not Bucky's fault. Now, they gave it back. So they brought back old man Steve Rogers, and guess what? They made him young, but then they made him Captain Hydra. And what's happening in the movies, guys? What's happening? They went ahead, gave the mantle to Sam Wilson. It's going to fail. They're bringing back old man Captain America. They're going to make him Captain Hydra. They're just reliving what happened in the comic books. This has been planned the whole time. They know this is going to fail, and they're playing it the same fucking ways they did in the comic books.
And if I may, and I feel like this is very important to mention regarding the comic book side, the failures of passing the mantle to Falcon and then him failing and then passing it to Bucky and it failing, that was not on purpose in the comics. They wanted it to succeed. It just so happened that comic sales dipped, so they tried something else. So the fact that they're doing the same thing in the movies to basically follow the comic storyline, not understanding that the reason the storyline was the way it was in the comics was because it literally was failing. It wasn't making any money. That's not good. That's not good. People don't often look back on poor comic book runs with nostalgia and say, man, I really wish they would adapt that to live TV, live screen, the movie.
I mean, I could say this real quick. I told Phantom this, and I told you guys this. Marvel doesn't have faith in this movie. I did talk to some of my other friends in a different Discord or whatever that didn't necessarily agree with me, but I'm just gonna say it. Listen, this movie is. I'm not gonna say it's dead on arrival because you know what, I think Anthony Mackie's a great actor, but I feel bad for Anthony Mackie because the thing is, once again, and I'm gonna keep on saying this until the cow comes home or whatever. Kevin Feige does not care about black superheroes. I keep on telling it. I'm gonna still keep on leaning on that because listen, they gave you the hand-me-downs of Captain America. Listen, I love Sam as Falcon. I think they should have made a Falcon movie. Honestly, I would have. This is how I think they should have done it. I think you should have named it Falcon, made it like a $100 million budget, like a small $100 million budget or whatever, and and don't put it on President's Day. My goodness, everybody knows that's not going to do good and everything. You put it sometime
it's a packed release day. It's packed.
Yeah,
a lot of movies released then.
See, I would have not even put. I mean, I know this might be a hot take. I wouldn't even put this in February, so-called Black History Month. I'll actually put this in the beginning of March or something because it's like it'll be like a grounded movie or something. Like this is if I was in charge of Marvel. Would have named it the Falcon, made the budget smaller, made it like a grounded mission or something like that, and get it set up for Secret Wars, or have it to where they're gonna reunite with Chris Evans' Captain America again. My thing is this: you do not. This is how you know that Marvel does not care about this movie. And I told you and Phantom this: you do not drop that Captain America might be coming back like 2 months before the movie comes. Like, that's disrespectful to Anthony Mackie. If this movie's good,
100%.
if this movie is good, you should it can stand on its own merit. They don't believe it can stand on its merit. They believe that like they need Chris Evans in this movie just for people to go watch it, and that's disrespectful.
Exactly. 2 months ahead of time, they were like, I don't know about this. Why don't we let out that Steve Rogers is coming back? Like, no. If, like you said, if you believe this movie, if they believe this movie could stand on its own 2 feet, let Steve Rogers come in at the third act, be a surprise, and then everybody in the theater stands and claps because they're so excited to see, oh, Chris Evans is back. Oh my goodness, let it be like that. But no, you had to think, I don't know about this, guys. Why don't we just kind of just let people know that, hey, by the way, Steve Rogers, Chris Evans is coming back. So come on, see what happens. See what's going to happen after this. Just come see the movie.
And also, they're introducing Red Hulk. Should not be in this movie.
Right. And it's not played by, it's played by Harrison Ford, but the character is not Cross. It's not Cross.
No, it's Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah.
He is Thunderbolt Ross. And
wait, he's supposed to be Thunderbolt Ross?
Yes, they recast.
Why is he always in a suit? Why is he always in a suit? Why is he not wearing his?
Because he's president.
Oh, he's the president now. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, and you got to think, in a few more months, we're getting the Thunderbolts. Named after Thunderbolt Ross, but yet he's not even going to be in the movie.
Right. You're not going to see Thunderbolt Ross, 4 stars on his lapel in his uniform, stand in front of them, arms behind his back, saying, you guys are the Thunderbolts, etc., and so forth. No. And I highly doubt that they managed to wrangle Harrison Ford to sign a movie deal greater than a single movie. I highly doubt he's going to appear. I'm telling you, homie hasn't wanted to act since the first Star Wars when he's like, hey, George, can you kill me in this movie? Because I don't want to do this. I want to go back to like banging and clanging sets together. I enjoy being a woodworker. He hasn't wanted to act since then. He's good, but he doesn't care. He doesn't care. They make him take out his earring every time. He's like, I just want to wear my earring in one movie, please. Come on. Anyways.
So, I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. I look, I like Anthony Mackie. I think he's a great guy. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I like Anthony Mackie. I think
I was going to say,
great actor.
Oh no, continue. I was going to just say we could talk about the Spider-Man thing because I know we're like on sort of a crunch or whatever. So
just a little bit. It's not that bad. What's the Spider-Man thing? I don't believe I had that pulled up. Go ahead and fill me in while I look that up.
So this is just now take this with a grain of salt. Like salt bait, grain of salt. So like there were sources like from Daniel RPK. Like he's pretty good with his sources or whatever. Like when it comes to trailer time and like some movie discussions or whatever. Now there's been like up in the air if it's going to be multiverse or grounded, but he believes that they're going with the grounded approach of Spider-Man. And like a lot of like, how do you guys feel about the ground, like having like a street level Spider-Man, Phantom and Big Dog, whoever's
he is
set of multiverse.
He is street level. That's just the thing.
Right. So I have his full write up is on Patreon, but I found on Reddit that there is somebody who covered the main pieces, which is, let's see, it's this one. Yeah. The 3 big ones are, it looks like they're still writing the script. The idea is to release it before Avengers Kang Dynasty. This is an old one. And it says, will be a direct setup to an Avengers film. This is from a year ago. Now, apparently this stuff still applies. The one thing that I feel is going to really screw this up in whatever fashion it will is the fact that Kang is no more. Kang Dynasty is no more. That's done. That's thrown out. That's in the trash. They had to kind of like really quickly figure something new out. That's why we're getting Captain America: Brave New World. That's why the Spider-Man 4 movie, the next Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, has been delayed as it has been. Again, this scoop was from roughly about a year ago. And Patriot's right. Yeah, they abandoned Kang real fast. Oh yeah, they did.
So what I'm
For sure.
thinking is, I think since they bring Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, he's going to be the big bad for
Yes.
right now.
Yeah.
So, which I think
Yeah.
should be the high evolutionary. He would have been a more of a threat than Tony Stark, Doctor Doom. You know, I'm never letting that go. I'm never letting that go because
I know
mark
you're
my
not.
words, he's going to be a
I
variant
know.
of Tony Stark. He's going to be a variant of Tony Stark. I will not let
Mhm.
that go.
Yeah. And, yeah.
Really think that's the way it's going to be, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way it's looking like, and shout out to my friend RJ and my boy Darius. Yeah, like they are not feeling the multiverse thing just like us, you know, they're not feeling the multiverse at all. They need to go ahead and do the street level stuff. Give us give us a grounded Spider-Man, but like at the end, like you see him team up with Daredevil or whatever in the Defenders for a little bit. You know, that's the movie that everybody wants to see. Whatever. That's, you know.
And
Well,
real quick to go ahead, Chris, or Phantom, excuse me.
Also, so he gets the symbiote. They've
He
already
does.
announced he
Mhm.
will be getting the symbiote in Secret Wars.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he gets it originally. So
right.
so that's how they're going to introduce it into the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Well-
Like I told Christus, I'm like, this is going until we have something definitive. Just take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Right.
That's all you
Yeah.
gotta do.
That's why I say grain of
For
salt.
those of you that are curious, this is again, it's paywalled behind Patreon. It's right up. But this is the most recent update, and this was from January 10th, so 6 days ago. You do have to go to his Twitter. He put it up there. If you look up Daniel Richmond on Patreon, and if you pay to join, you can unlock, and you can see his write up. And so, if you guys are really interested, this is less than a week old. This should have the latest updates, and read up for yourself if you'd like to. I have no idea what his Patreon levels are like. I only heard about this recently, so didn't have a chance to take a look at it. But if you guys want it, it's there. It's there. It's there.
Next subject, we're speeding this up a little bit.
Let's quickly whip through these last ones. Just some updates on Rippaverse and Yaira stuff, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay.
The Yaira book is coming. It's on pre-order. Yaira Part 2. It's about 56 pages.
Yeah. And
it's only $13.
And this is real quick. This was from January 9th, and so 7 days ago, a week ago, just in the first day, nearly 4,000 books sold. 56-page graphic novel by the Saskas. So Yaira 2, nearly 4,000 books just in the first day. I imagine now that it's been another week, it's probably up there, which is fantastic. I know the first Yaira was bomb. I know people loved it. I know it's great stuff. And then, of course, we have, also from Rippaverse, we have one of his more, one of the characters that was in Yaira, Blood Ruth.
Yeah, Blood Ruth.
Blood Ruth 1 has crossed 650,000. Still time to pre-order. Another character that really popped. One of the side characters that popped in the first Yaira, having her own solo adventure. Crossing 650,000 in total sales. This is, again, shout out.
This is good.
Shout out to the Black Stan Lee for really making it happen. Just consistently putting out good stuff that people like, eating it up.
And you get it on time. Not 3 years from now.
That's right. You set up a realistic timeline for pre-orders and when they'll be delivered. And you set up a realistic time frame for deliveries. The way it should be. The
man says the book is already done. We just gotta set out pre-orders or whatever. None of that like GoFundMe.
So stupid. Yeah, exactly.
And once again, congratulate Jay on his recent campaign.
Yes, Jay too.
Campaign, yeah.
Drunk
Yeah.
videos recently.
Yeah.
And I won't.
You guys spoke to him last week,
Yeah.
and then he's doing great with that also.
And trust and believe, when his pirate book comes out, we will promote the hell out of that book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
The concept of the pirate book, I love it. I'm already. I was fit to say, Jay, here's my credit card right now, dude. Just go ahead and put me down for one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And then the
Alright.
final thing, the very, very final thing, because we got to get up out of here, is the Christopher Reeve documentary. What did you think about it, Phantom?
Yes.
Dude,
And
that
Jake.
was. Oh my god, that was so hard to watch.
Yeah.
I cried.
Mhm.
I cried a good part of it.
I ended up watching it last night before I went to bed.
Mhm.
And Phantom, I kind of felt a similar way because I said I was going to watch it because you guys watched it. I watched it last night before bed, as I was getting ready for bed and stuff. I kind of felt an opinion that you are probably going to share, Phantom, which is half of it was like Chris Reeve. What a ball of charisma! What a great guy! He was Superman, not only in the movie but in real life. Him getting hit with ALS, that was a terrible thing. What a terrible way to go. But he was just a consummate professional and a fantastic man to the end. And then the other half was like, for instance, they had Susan Sarandon, who was like,
Propaganda.
it was great to have Superman, this ultra masculine figure, embody what it is to be Superman without any toxic masculinity. It's like, oh my god, just is this really necessary?
And
is this really necessary?
dude, and they had to throw in there his gay roles, his advocacy for AIDS.
Yes, and yes.
Yeah.
He did that stuff, but like,
No one cared.
I mean, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yes. If it's a biopic about his life, or not a biopic, but like a documentary about his life, yes, throw it in there to make sure it's a thing, but don't spend half of the freaking 2-hour documentary on.
They had
on
John
that.
Kerry on there. John fucking Kerry.
You mean the politician? Politician
Yes.
John Kerry, right? Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
so that was what I thought it was. Okay.
Yeah.
My God.
He was good for. I mean, yeah. It was. Yeah. All politics aside, or whatever. I mean, I
good.
love the
It
fact
was
I love the fact that him and Robin Williams were good friends too, whatever. And that was. It's crazy, man, that like both of them completed each other. Like, Robin like made Chris laugh, and whereas Chris was that masculine type to like,
Anchor.
to
The anchor.
basically just said like, Robin, you got it in you, brother. Like, I believe in you, dude. Like, it's crazy, dude. So crazy, man.
Robin Williams can do those dramatic movies. Like, you're an actor, you can do this. You don't have to just do comedic stuff. You can do dramatic roles, and that's how you get like Insomnia and 1 Hour Photo, like fantastic dramatic roles from Robin Williams.
And so it was. I think Glenn Close said it in the documentary that when Robin lost Chris, he didn't go too long after that, and
it wasn't very long. It wasn't. No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy, man. Yeah. Two legends gone too quick, man. But it just shows you. It just shows you that you can't take anything for granted. Stay blessed, be good to people, or whatever. You just don't know when it's your last day or whatever, or the last time you will walk or whatever. So that's basically what the documentary was kind of telling you, in my opinion, whatever.
Yeah, and if I can wrap this up for us, I think I might have something analogous that could go with that. If today was your last day, what would you do? You want to make sure that everybody you love, you tell them you love them, you kiss your family, kiss your wife, kiss your kids, tell them you love them. I'm somebody who's dealing with spinal issues right now, and it's a difficult subject between me and my wife, where I've had to tell her that there's a good chance with a degenerative illness that I could hit 40, 50 years old, and I genuinely will not be able to walk ever again. That's the thing. I can now throw on my back brace and I can still do some stuff, but there's a chance that I could, like what took me out in October that made me be gone from the show for a couple months was I just went to sleep, and my back hurts as it always does. I have a degenerative disease, but I woke up and my legs were shot. I couldn't I couldn't move, couldn't walk. You know, I was undergoing a number of procedures to get back to just to sit here for a couple hours every Thursday. That's why I'm back. You know, I just went yesterday to get another one done, and I'm hoping that it works better than the one last time. But, you know, God bless, I was able to stand for my wedding day and marry the love of my life. And, you know, just remember that. You could wake up tomorrow and just not be here. A meteorite could fall through your house and just crush you at night. And I hope for every single one of you out there that if that were to happen to you when you're knocked out cold sleep and you wake up and behold the light of God. God bless all of you.
All right, so I think it's time for. We didn't do this last week, so we're going to do rapid fire recommendations.
Yeah.
Crease, what you got?
Crease, do you have? Yeah, Crease, do you have one? If not, I'll go first. What have you?
Daredevil.
Oh, here we go.
Watch
Daredevil, straight up Daredevil.
Great.
Okay, which one is this specifically?
It's all 3 seasons.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, you got it signed too. Hell yeah, brother.
Yep. Watch it. Watch the Daredevil series, the Netflix Daredevil series, one of the best comic book adaptations. Check it out, or whatever. My personal favorite season will always be number 2. However.
Well, Crease, at least I give you this much. At least you show stuff that people sign.
That was very unexpected.
You're a naughty boy.
All right, Jake, what you got for us for recommendation?
My music recommendation for this week. I was listening to a lot of them while I was getting married, at my process down there in Florida and stuff. But I want to give a shout out to one of my favorite bands of all time, one of my favorite albums by them, Rise Against, 2005 or 2006, Siren Song of the Counterculture. This was back a few years after, the invasion of Iraq and Afghanistan. So there's some political stuff in here, but this is still back in the era where leftists were absolutely crazy and pop punk was actually against the machine, actually was raging against the machine. But there are also a lot of songs in here that are just good songs that don't really have political or social messages to it. I really enjoy it. So Rise Against, shout out. I got their shirt. I got one of their shirts that you've seen me wear on the show before, and this is easily one of my favorite albums by them. I love the hell out of it. So go give it a listen. I think you guys really enjoy it. And now for you, Phantom, you have a very special recommendation. Also, you would like to recommend Doom 84, correct?
Yeah, Doom 84 for David Lynch. Probably one of my favorite fucking movies of his.
And for you, I specifically, this was the only photo I could find. I very specifically found someone who took a photo of the original poster of it. No. The original 84 poster.
That's so cool.
And we can see the motion picture event you've been waiting for. Its surface is barren, its truth's hint forbidden. Its foreboding desert conceals the power to fold space, to slow time, to send the mind where the body cannot go. It is the source of all the ultimate power. It is the deadly battleground where a young leader will emerge to command an army of 6 million warriors against the tyrannical force that threatens to enslave the universe. It is the clash for the greatest prize of all, the planet called Dune. And what a fantastic poster. Signed,
That's a nice
signed right
poster.
here. Signed right here by Kyle MacLachlan. There's Sting. There's Sting, and here it is, Dune, a world beyond your experience, beyond your imagination.
Wow, I see Brandon Lee signed it too.
Another signature right over top. It's Frank Herbert's signature over top. But yeah, this is the only one I could find of the actual poster, and it's a guy who has a full-size poster in his house. He took a photo of it, so I pulled that up. And remember, after the show ends real soon, hop over into the GCA, watch the watch party on Isaac's Missing Childhood. They're going to watch Dune 84, this movie specifically. If you want to watch it, pop on in and watch. It'll be good stuff. And also, I didn't pull up my links. Here's my links. My links are here. They're also in the description if you want to check that shit out. It's all good stuff.
All right. Thank you guys for coming. And we got a couple of plugs. I will be on Off the Hip next Thursday afternoon for the Xbox Showcase. And over on Westward Smiles channel, Saturday night, Killing Saturdays with Anime. I think we're going to have Vagabond on. And the following Saturday, it's going to be myself versus Isaac in a debate on which is more powerful, the Death Star versus the space battleship Yamato.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's not a moon, it's a space station. 11 million troops upon it. It's the Death Star. And in this quarter, all the way from the land of the rising sun, the battleship Yamato. Ding, 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 ding.
And
definitely trying to steal tickets.
Yep. Monday, we will be on my main FanMX channel, and we will be doing the live reaction to the GOAT, Donald Trump, returning as president.
Yep, I will do my best to be there for a little while for the inauguration. You know, Lord willing, you know, all that jazz. I'll be able to make it there for a little while, make some comments, see what people have to say beforehand during the inauguration and after, you know. Barring an act of God or an act of man. Absolutely. And remember, guys, follow us on X, Twitter. And by all means, come on into the Discord and have fun with us. Have fun with us. Chat in the Discord.
Yep.
Be a part of these shenanigans. It's good stuff. It's a lot of fun.
And we'll be starting some anime watch parties in the homies Discord soon too.
They'll be coming up real soon. Oh,
yeah.
Chris, what you got coming up?
Definitely check out the Creature Commandos video that I just placed on For the Homies. Check that out or whatever. Also got another review coming out soon, is the Landman review. And I think I might do another review on this Batman Arkham thing, that he was a clone or whatever. Also KSW this Saturday, and next week I will be the moderator between Isaac and Phantom, or whatever, for this match. So that's gonna be fun. And that's it, man. And of course, For the Homies. And, well, you heard it. Oh, and also we're just gonna reveal next week's guests. Isaac will be here next Thursday, so we can promote this thing. So you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
so,
yeah. You better believe it.
Listen.
They're gonna get their vamp on. They're gonna be in each other's faces, saying, "You're going down, brother." You have no idea what to expect. They're gonna have the titles over their shoulders. It's gonna be great.
Great face off right there. All right, Big Dog Jake, take us home, man. What you got going on?
My name is Big Dog Jake, BIGGDOGGJAKE. I'm a professional, though occasional, voiceover actor stroke artist. I am a political analyst and writer for hire. I won't write for any commies, though, so don't even try it. I love video games and my music. I'll talk to anyone about them. I love hanging out with my homies every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right the F here. You know where you are, and you love being here. I'm newly married. I got a lot of things to do, including today. So as far as my schedule is concerned, I'm basically just doing this Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Crease and Phantom, doing it for the homies. Maybe as the months go on and I have less and less stuff I have to do, I'll possibly get back on Off the Hip if I feel like I can really commit to it. I've got some invitations to get on some podcasts, to do some interviews coming up. And when those come up, I'll let everybody know. But other than that, I'll be here. It's been a great time. It's been a blast. Love hanging with these two guys. Love hanging with these homies. And I hope all of you had a fucking wonderful time here. We'll see you guys next week.
We will see you next week for another episode For the Homies podcast. We are out. Like the stream, nerds.
Like the stream, nerds.
We talking about the life we know. Lasting vibes and good times flow. Homies gather, let the stories grow. Screaming loud, let the wisdom show. Late nights, we ain't slowing down. Mic in hand, we own this town. From the heart, every word profound. For the homies, let that love resound. Tune in, man, it's time to roll. Jokes and tales will steal the show. For the homies, we'll break the mold. Keep it real, let the truth unfold.